Just outside Trinidad, the province of Santi Spiritus, there's a fishing village. It's called Casilda. Humberto Ariola gets ready to take off to sea the next day. He's been fishing for more than 20 years. Now he's 41 years old. From the time I was a kid, he says. We were there as he unloaded his equipment, the tools he takes with him, really the stuff that allows him to fish, but also keeps him alive out there. The boats you see here, most of them are about 12 feet long. Usually it's about 3 to 4 men per boat, and they spend several days out in the sun fishing. It's enough to feed our families, to live, and to maintain the boat. You always have to figure out how to make that money. He shows us his boat, wants us to see how pretty it is, and tells us things are not too bad. You get tired, he says, but to live, you have to keep working. Juan Manuel Jimenez is the son of a fisherman and followed in his father's footsteps.
Yo estuve de buzo langostero en estatal durante 10 años.
Jimenez spent 10 years working for the state-run fisheries as a diver, mainly catching lobster. Now retired because of health reasons, but he's still fishing. It's what they call sports fishing, but what they catch, they sell.
Sí, se lo vendemos al Estado.
We sell it to the state, he says. Another way, another example, how the Castro government has loosened its rules when it comes to private business. Financially, it's enough to support your family. You won't get rich, he says, but it helps.
Hablando cubano, vamos escapando.
It's what Cubans call escapando, meaning they don't make much, but they're surviving despite the challenges. It's a story of Cubans, he says, who are humble and poor. From Casilda, we head into neighboring Trinidad.
Esa calle es la más mala que he visto en el pueblo.
Streets in Trinidad are pretty bad in some areas. When the sun comes up, you start to see the town's soul. Breakfast is early for us. We take in some fruit, some pressed ham and cheese sandwiches, and we finish with some scrambled eggs. And you cannot forget el cafecito. A typical daily breakfast like this is what you're served when you stay at a casa particular, a private home. It's how we found lodging throughout our trip. This time, we stayed in Jesus Calunga's house, up the street from the center of town.
Por la ubicación geográfica de mi casa y por la importancia y la apertura que daba el país.
The location of his home and the opening from the Castro government when it comes to the private business is what got Jesus involved. It was 2 years ago he started renting out an upstairs room out of his colonial centuries-old home. It's about $30 to $40 a night. For a couple extra bucks, you can get breakfast and lunch. Tourism is thriving here in Trinidad. All you have to do is look at these signs that tells you a room is for rent. Just on this block, we found 8 homes. That's just one block. The signs are everywhere, and so are the tourists. Cameras are as varied as the colors on the walls. Our hope was to keep chatting with Cubans who are directly affected by the tourism boom. Turn a corner and you'll find another type of business. Yoelsi Ramirez and other women sell handcrafted jewelry made of plants and seashells. These women pay the state a license fee, which is about $60 a month. She also has to spend money buying some of the goods. You make enough to sustain daily lives. 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. is a typical day for her.
No queremos ni sernos millonarios ni enriquecernos.
We don't want to be millionaires, she says. They just want to live a decent life. Back out on the cobblestone streets of Trinidad, their loud calls don't really bother this street dog. As they go by, Nena Box watches by her door.
Tenemos todo.
We have everything, she says, after listing all the hot spots in Trinidad. The cobblestone streets were built many years ago, one of the many attractions that drives tourists to this 500-year-old town. Nena does not live far from the center. The 75-year-old lowers the volume on the radio, keeps walking so we can chat, and she can show us what she calls home. This is as far as my home goes, she says. Behind her living room, behind half a wall, you'll find her bedroom. Her bathroom is in there. Nena is retired. She gets around 240 Cuban pesos monthly. That's around $10.
Pago la luz, pago el agua.
With that, she pays electricity, water, and saves the rest for food. It's not enough, though. This is where she cooks. The kitchen is next to a little refrigerator right next to her bed. She uses a wooden rod to hang the few clothes she has. Shows us inside her refrigerator that doesn't have much, just a mango, a loaf of bread, and some frozen water. In order to survive, she has a side job. She cleans houses and runs errands for people.
Muy católica.
A devout Catholic who is proud to show us images of her faith. Her favorite image, of course,
La caridad del cobre.
Our Lady of Charity, patron saint of Cuba. It's who she holds dearly. In her home's corner, she also points to the saints from the Santeria religion. Nena doesn't have any family left here in Cuba. Her only brother, seen in this picture, died. Before we go, she says,
Aquí tienen una amiga y una compañera.
here you have a friend. Then the story takes a turn. As we leave, we get some last-minute video. A younger guy who lives down the street screams at her, tells her to be careful after what she told us.
No, mira, aquí todo lo que se ha hablado es bueno.
She says to him, I've only said good things. A reminder to us that people here are still concerned about what they say. Coming up, a long-time business sparked out of necessity. Then, a closer look at the importance of remittances for Cubans.
La bahía de Cochino.
And stay tuned as we visit the historic shores of Bay of Pigs.